What's up guys, it's Selka and welcome to this weekly analysis. So before I get into it, I just want to say that I'm sorry for making less video than what I usually do. The video will be coming up soon and I'm currently backtesting some stuff with the wave theory, seeing if it could work on different topics such as NFTs or low market cap coins. And yeah, I'm currently backtesting some stuff and I will be posting videos about it in the next weeks because I know some of you are into NFTs, but most of you are into the wave theory and trying to learn the method or get to know more about it. So I think these videos will be useful for either of you guys. And with that being said, let's just dive into it. Okay, quick reminder that you have the corrective pattern in the top right corner to help you out during the analysis, but also you can join the community Discord, link in the description down below, if you have any question regarding the wave theory or if you simply want to talk about trading. I'm super active in there and feel free to join if you would like to. So now we're gonna get started with Bitcoin, and this pattern is there's many ways to see this pattern actually, and I'll break it down the two ways to see it. All right, so the first one is this. All right, just start with this impulse and this first move being an A move, which is the first retracement of a three-wave corrective structure. Then you have this potential B wave and then this C wave. So this becomes the C and this the B wave. And since, and let me make sure about it, but since it didn't break the low, this is considered to be a contracting flat. All right, so you have it in the top right corner. This should be a contracting flat. So after having this pattern, you got an up move, little setup, and this tells you that it's going to go up and break the top. All right, so at that point you have your contracting completed. Then you have another retracement, a corrective pattern looks like, and it breaks the top and also come back down to break the low. So this is an A move, a B move, and a C move. So before I'll put it in a different color so it won't really bother you, but let me put it in red for example. And then you have this retracement, A move, this B move, and this C move right there with that drop. And all this is a correction for that impulse right there. Even though it's the impulse that came after that contracting flat, it could be a correction for the next impulse, which is the case. All right, so if that's the case, you got an impulse, a correction, and it went up to break the top to complete the how it goes. It goes with an impulse, a correction, and then another impulse, which is the basics. All right, you always have an impulse, a correction, and an impulse, and then the correction being completed comes with another impulse after and before. So it could be that, and if that's the case, it broke the top. So this is the start of a new structure, which is either a new structure, so let me put it with a different color, either a new corrective pattern, all right, for an up move, or the start of the drop that we're looking for in the bigger time frame. So in the bigger time frame, and I'll be removing all this, all right, but in the bigger time frame, I'm looking at this as potentially will start the bigger structure, because we need a bigger correction. All right, we need something bigger for going up, because all this move will have its own correction and these are not enough. All right, these are small correction, and sometime soon people will be taking profit and you'll see a bigger correction. So that's what I'm looking for, and I can't not know whether it will when it will happen. So as long as you're above those low, you're in an uptrend. So as long as you're above this one especially, you're in an uptrend. So you need to break that one, give a correction, and then another drop before we complete this correction. So that's what I'll be looking at, is that bottom. Now there's people seeing the pattern in another way, all right, and which is not especially bad in my opinion. It's the right way to see it, simply because, you know, having this as a contracting and this as an expanding is pretty rare. You have it in the top right corner. These are the two structure that comes really that are rare, and if you just add up the probability of having this as a contracting and this as an expanding, it's just not that much probable, even though it is, but it's not as probable as having simply a running flat like this one. So if that's your A move, then all this is your B wave, all right? So B wave, A wave, and this your C wave. It makes sense. This being a running flat makes sense. You have your up move, you break the top, and you're looking for, and I'll put it in a different color, and you're looking for a different structure, all right? The only difference between both are literally the same, all right? You're starting a new structure. In both cases, these are the same, but the difference between both, and just before I get into it, just put that as a running flat also, so you can see that these are the same structure with the ABC, so these are the same, but the only difference is in this scenario, this will be an expanding, and you'll put your stop loss. If you're in the buy, you'll put your stop loss under that low, because if you break that low, you are most likely going to start a downtrend. But in the case of a running flat, you're going to put your stop loss under that low, because if you break that low, then you're starting into a downtrend. So this running flat, seeing this move as a running flat, I think it's even better, so you can take less risk. So if it goes like this and goes back up, which is possible, in that case you'll be out of the trade, but in that one you'll still be in the long that you took right there or a long time ago. So basically it just helps you out to be in the trade if it starts to go up, which is possible. It's possible to see all this pattern as a running flat, which I don't think it's the case, but it could. If you have this as an expanding and this is a contracting, I mean, it could technically, but I'm not sure. Since this is a contracting, I don't know where you could see all this being a running flat. I think if that's a running flat, then it's done right there. But again, I'm taking too much time talking about it. You just gotta keep in mind that as long as it doesn't go under that low, you can have another push before going down. All right, so let me just move that so it will be better to see. So again, to me this is an A move, and this is all a B move. Not this, not this, but this right there. I'm seeing this as a B move and this as a C. So as long as it doesn't break through that, you're still in an uptrend and you can have another push before going down. All right, and that's why this will be the thing that you'll be looking for. So this is the low, that the most important. Now if you get a range, something like this, then you forget about having a new top. You will go for the drop to reach those targets, which is around there, so somewhere in there, and this will be your trade, which is a short. All right, and now we're gonna get into Ethereum. And Ethereum, all right, Ethereum is different. This one, you have many ways of seeing this pattern. I think this is an expanding. This is clearer. You have an A move, B move, and C move. Then you have your top. So this is an A move, and I'll put it in a different color because it's a different corrective structure. And Ethereum is a bit cleaner than Bitcoin. So it's clear to see that this is an A move. Now I'm getting into a smaller corrective structure, but yeah, all this is potentially a B move. All right, so I'll just put it like this. But in turn right there, you have an ABC, which is an expanding. So there's a lot of expanding, there's a lot of contracting move that you don't really see often, but it happens, and sometimes, yeah, it simply happens. So from that point, this one, I'm seeing this potentially go like this around there and before making a running flat, which is possible. All right, it's possible. The only scenario where it doesn't make a running flat is that if there's actually two scenarios where it doesn't make the running flat. If this one is an A move, this is a B move, with that one, a B move, and this is a C move. Right, so I'll just remove that, and this is a C move. Then this could be a contracting. So you have an expanding, a contracting, and a new top, and this goes straight up down to make a bigger correction, which is possible. All right, so as of right now, there's many way to see this pattern, and that's what you should be then focusing on the smaller time frame. And the smaller time frame is this pattern, which is potentially a regular flat. All right, so I do think this looks like a regular flat, and this could be a regular flat. So you could expect a new top, break the top, then come back down, and then potentially have your bigger structure, which is this. All right, so if you would ask what I think would happen, I think this will happen. So going up, breaking the top, going back down, and then going up again. But somewhere soon, you'll have this correction. It's a matter of time and somewhere. So if I do it like this, somewhere this will drop and make a bigger correction. All right, so I'll just remove that, make it like this, clear that, and yeah, up move, drop, up move, and bigger correction. So I'm expecting the bigger correction to happen soon, and that's why taking those buy are risky. Like if you take that buy, take profit right there automatically. You can't even risk you can't even think that this will go up and up, and that will be the best trade of your life. I mean, in my opinion, I would just take it and take profit right there, because I know that the drop is most likely to happen since you have a bigger correction. So it's exactly if you were taking buy right there. For example, you take the buy, if you don't take profit, you'll have a drop and then an up move, and you don't want to be in the trade if you're dropping. All right, so I'll go faster on the others. I'm doing this Bitcoin and Ethereum taking longer time simply because I haven't done it during the week since my weekly analysis, and it's pretty important to do it. And just like, all right, just this is an example. If you get a flag right there, perfect trade to take. You take that above, so you have a limit order above. If it goes through, then you're in the trade. Stop loss will be around that low and take profit will be there. So that's basically the trade, because this is most likely a regular flat, and that's how you should trade with the wave theory. All right, just like this one, most likely a regular flat. So but this one was in smaller time frames, so you don't have a setup to get into it, so it's risky. But usually when you have a setup, limit order, stop loss under the low, so it will be right there. But if you take the setup, you could put it right there. It will be a little bit more risky, but you take that up move and take profit right there. Second take profit is where you have a sell setup, so you would not take profit there, you would take profit right there. The second time, get out of the trade around right there or right there, you choose. So that's how I do it. And now we're gonna take a look at Link. So Link, this is looking like an end of a structure. You have potentially a running flat right there, but you see how it goes like this, and when it goes like this after having an impulse, that's where you take profits, and I'll write it right there. So you see when this goes like this, not on a straight line, that means you must be losing in momentum just right there before having an up move, so you can have a bigger correction soon. So I think Link will have its correction pretty soon if I look at it in the 4-hour chart. So let me zoom in right there. All right, so I was wrong. This is a regular flat, A, B, C, and this is an up move that came and break the top, which is now the regular flat is done. Then you have an up move, a drop, up move, drop right there. This could be a regular flat to break the top one more time before having the bigger correction. So most likely they are going to break the top one more time before having a correction from what I see right now, but it could also not be it. But I think this will break the top and give a correction. So if it doesn't, which is possible seeing that structure, if it doesn't, you'll see it range right there. So if it ranged, then you go for that bigger correction. Okay, Matic went pretty high near that top, so now the expanding, I think most likely it will break the top. So the expanding is still possible, but I would be surprised. So this expanding, it's still possible, and if it happens, then you'll have a drop that will break the low and then come back up, because this will be a completed regular flat. So this will be the A move, all this will be the B move, and this will be the C move before breaking the top. So it is possible actually, and from that, for that to happen, we need that range and a drop. So we'll need Bitcoin to drop, and if it doesn't, if Bitcoin make that new high before dropping, then we'll see Matic breaking that top and drop for either a bigger correction or to retest the low. So both are possible, but I would aim for a bigger correction, so it will be something like this before going up. See, so for this one, I'll be looking at a buy right there, because of that running flat. So that running flat could be a buy, but don't get baited, because sometimes it looks like a running flat, and just like this one, which is, yeah, this one, it looks like a running flat, but it range and make a new low. So it could be, it looks like a running flat, range and make a new low. Sorry, it looks small right there. I'll try to zoom in quick. But yeah, just like right there, you had a potential A move, potential B move, and then the C. So it could be a running flat right there for an up move, but it ranged and make a new low. So right there, same thing. It could be a running flat, but if it range and make a new low, if it range, it will make a new low, basically. BNB also, I kind of see a running flat right there, but also see a potential bigger running flat. So if it range, expect a bigger running flat right there for an up move. And if it doesn't, so if you see that spike and give a flag especially, then you're breaking the top and then making your bigger correction. So for BNB, I do think that you're going to get a bigger correction, and it doesn't need to be a running flat with what I just drew right there. It could be a bigger correction on its own, something like this. But in both cases, this impulse will have its correction soon, and the correction needs to be bigger from what it made during the impulse. So expect a bigger correction, just like this one. You had a bigger correction after having that impulse. Same thing, you will have a bigger correction after having an impulse and then having another impulse. So right there, X, I think that did you break the top? You didn't break the top. So as long as this top is not broken, you got to be careful of that running flat, which is possible. So this being your A move, this your B move, and this your C move. So if you get a range, aim for the drop to break the low, and that's the goal. All right, seeing this, now there's a second scenario where you have a correction, and this will lead to make a new top, and if it breaks the top, it then breaks the other top, which is the condition for that downside running flat. So if you see it a correction like this and then like this has a lot of chance to come and break the top, and if it happens, then you should go for a bigger structure. So that's the only condition. If you don't want to see this low to be broken again, you need a correction that will be pretty high near that top, and then another drop before going up. So basically, unless you have this is downside. Litecoin, same thing. This will have its correction pretty soon. Now we're on the daily, so I need to go in the smaller time frame to let you know about it. But in the smaller time frame, it's almost the same thing as the others. I really do think that this is losing in momentum. You will have a bigger correction soon, but you can also have some sort of running flat. I think this one has it done right there. So I think this one should do a bigger correction, or even bigger one. You have this potential running flat that could happen. But if it happened, I would like to have an explain this move, which is, to me, this doesn't make sense unless it's a running flat right there. But even that, this is too impulsive to be a B wave, seeing it right there. So basically, this one could be one of those that you don't have in the top right corner, which could be, I mean, seeing it right there, you could have this right there, this running flat, then an up move, break the top, then a drop, up move, drop, which is a running flat, before going up. All right, so you could have two running flat, one right there and one right there, but you could also have an expanding triangle, which is called this, when you have this breaking the top and this breaking the top. But this is pretty rare. All right, so it's a 5-wave corrective pattern, but it's pretty rare, so I won't count this one. I would just see this as a running flat and this one as a running flat too. So that's why I'll be expecting a bigger correction right there. I think that's the one that has the most probability on. So I'll be looking at this dropping a little bit more and making a correction. So basically, all crypto aims to either make a new top before making a bigger correction, or making a bigger correction right now. And even Bitcoin and Ethereum are the same. So you got to be careful for that. AVAX, is there a potential running flat right there? There's actually potential. Actually, there is not. So you have this regular flat. I'll stop doing the ABC thing because it takes time, but you can see it right there. Then a drop. These are small correction, I think. A drop, an impulse, corrective impulse. So I think that actually this will range and make a drop. All right, I think this is either a bigger correction or in the middle of a running flat, which is both possible, right? It's possible to see it make a new top before making a corrective pattern. I think right there is where we're gonna have to take a look at it and see where it's heading. But I'm seeing those crypto potentially coming and retesting the top before having a bigger correction. But my main focus right now is that bigger correction, because it will be the last opportunity, in my opinion, to get in those trade for at least midterm. Because the impulse right there is most likely not an impulse that will lead to break those low again. I think those low will not be broken for now. So you'll aim for a bigger correction and then aim for up move. So if you see it range, it's a short that is worth taking, but you got to keep in mind that you're still in an uptrend, and as long as you're in an uptrend, you're most likely getting a new top before you get that drop that will break through those lows and make a bigger correction. XMR. Alright, now you're talking about a clean structure. These are cleaner than the other one. You have an impulse, correction, impulse, just a reminder. Then you have a drop, potential correction, and then this drop should come and retest the low right there. Whenever it will be done, you have a potential regular flat to retest the top one more time. So I'm seeing this pattern. This is a great opportunity to trade it. I think it will do that. So since right there you broke under that trend line, all right, that trend line, and this is most likely going to drop and break that low, and whenever it happens, this will complete a regular flat for another push up. So this will be a great opportunity to buy right there and take profits in there. So I think this will happen for XMR at least during the week. EGLD, this one, yeah, this one you have right there an expanding, then an up move, an expanding, no, this one was a running flat, then an up move, and you have a small correction right there. So I expect it to break the low and then come back up and break the top before making a bigger correction. So let me zoom in. All right, right there you have your drop A. This is potentially a B, this is a C, so I'm seeing it break the low unless it's a contracting, but we're gonna go for a regular flat always, since it's the most probable, then going up. So right there look for buys. So if you have an impulse and a flag, it's a great opportunity to put limit order above, stop loss under, and to ride it until you reach the top of the first impulse. So basically that's a good opportunity right there. Also one of the cleanest one. So all the above are not that clean. This one was clean, XMR was clean. I think Bitcoin is okay, Ethereum is clean. So Ethereum, XMR, and EGLD are the cleanest right now. Right there I'm seeing all this as a flat for an up move, all this as a potential flat also, so corrective pattern, up move. So I'm seeing this as a new structure. Either it will do something like this, or it will simply drop, break those low, and either up if this is all a corrective pattern, which is possible to see all this as a running flat, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So if I see it range, I'll try to aim for a bigger correction, for a short, for a bigger correction. So you got to be careful, because there's also right there a down impulse, and this could be a small running flat. Even though it's ugly, it's possible, so you can have a small up move before having the drop. So what I would do for cryptos, in my opinion, is try to see if it goes up and make a setup to go up and break the top again. And if it's the case, then you'll be in the trade, that's fine. But whenever you break the top, you'll be careful for sells, because now you don't have any patterns that should be on for another push up. So if you break the top, you should not be looking for buy, because you would not have any A move, any B move to be completed with. So this drop could be completed to this up move, but if you get that up move, you have no more A, B, C for the potential drop. So if you complete that, you're most likely going to drop for a bigger correction. All right, there's no more move to be completed, and that's why breaking the top will most likely be the last time before a bigger correction. And trust me, the bigger correction will happen. You don't need to think otherwise. You don't need to think that it will never happen, let's just buy this. Actually, it will happen, and it will happen in a moment where you don't think about it. So that's why you gotta always be on your guard. So for DOGE, This is messy, but you have a regular flat right there, ABC, up move. Right there, actually, I think that this is a running flat. Alright, this is possible to be a running flat. If that's not the case, then you might be having a contracting right there, another up move, then a drop, and this could be a running. So this could be a running to come and retest the top. So all the cryptos, like I said, are messy, most of them, and most of them looks like they're going up and then down, or just if it's range going straight up down. So just like the others, if it's range, go down. If it doesn't, especially if it breaks that low, it means that you're going down. But if it doesn't, it's a new top before having a drop. So that's why taking trade right there is risky. If you took one from the top, put your break even on and be careful. But if you didn't and you're looking for buy, also be careful, as you need that setup to get into it. Nasdaq, this one, the corrective pattern, I'm still seeing this as a corrective pattern, and it's actually super possible. If you gotta sell, you should retest the low before the next impulse, all right, the next up move. And now if it's range right there, if you see it range, then you go for the up move. So if during the week all we see is a range above those levels, that means that we're going up, and most likely it's going to be for a bigger correction or something like this before an up move, or simply going up if that's the correction that is done. If this correction is done, then we could simply going up. That's why we got to be careful. So in terms of comparison, if I could show you something similar, it's right there. We can be going up. So all right, let me just zoom in. This one is perfect to explain where we could be right there. So like I said, if it's range, we should going up. You should be going up, and it could be for a bigger correction, something like this. And the reason why is right there. We got exactly what I mean. So you see right there, we got an up move and we got a range above those levels. So this one is probably a 4-hour, 1-hour structure. So you see that range means that we're going up, but still, as long as we didn't break the top, this could be a bigger correction, right, before going up. In that case, a contracting, but in most case it will be a regular. But let's say a contracting. If it's a contracting, then you're gonna see a range, then going up. It won't break that top, it will go down, it won't break that low, and then go up, if that's a contracting. All right, now I'm aiming for a regular flat, so it should go up and then down, break the lows, and then go up. All right, something like this. Now the B wave could be more corrective, so you could see something like this before going down. It's possible, but right now let's focus on that flag, which is what we're looking at. S&P, same thing. S&P, this could be just, this move could be exactly like this one, all right. This could be a move that aims to a drop and then before going up, but this could also be, if you get a drop right there and an up move which complete this running flat, this could be a B wave, all right, something like this, then drop and make a regular flat right there before going up, which makes sense. All right, seeing this makes sense to me, because this being completed structure is possible. You can see that break the top straight up, especially if you make that running flat right there and break the top. It's super possible. Now, just to be sure and make sure, take less risk and make sure I'll be winning this trade, maybe aim for that up move, but take some profit right there, because there is a chance that this drops and come back to this down level before going up, and you don't want to be stuck if it happens. So that's why right there you got to be careful, and we're gonna see it coming, so I'll be giving my analysis on it whenever it happens. But right there you have a potential small running flat that you could be taking as a trade setup. So if it goes down, aim for buys right there, but be careful. If it drops and range, then it could retest the low, like I said. So this one is kind of messy, less cleaner than Nasdaq in my opinion, but this move still can be seen as a corrective structure to retest the low. But like I said, aim for that running flat at least, so sell it for that running flat at least. And if it's range, forget about it. But if it doesn't, sell it at least for the running flat, and if it goes down to break the low, then good, you'll be in the trade. But at least that running flat before going up. DXY, all right, DXY, we've got the move that we wanted to see. This is most likely the first move of a correction, so we'll see it range, go up, range, go up, make a bigger correction, something big, then go down again, and this could even be a bigger correction, something like this, but now it's too early to say. If that's the case, we'll go retest the top one more time, but I'm actually just aiming for a correction and then a drop, a correction for this drop, right? This will mean that we're going up again, we're going down again, but just like this one, right? This one is perfect example. You see that correction, or that one, you got to drop, correction, drop, correction. So it doesn't really go down like this, it goes down with small correction, and that's what we want to see, because if it gives a correction like this, that means Bitcoin and the others will go down for a correction like this, you see. So if it corrects after that down impulse corrects up, then this one will correct down, which is Bitcoin, for example, and that's where crypto will give its correction before going up. So it's perfect, that's what we want to see if we're into crypto at least. And right there, what you got to be careful of is that you didn't break the low. So this could be a running also like this, and that's what you got to be careful. So if that's the case, we'll see it drop, the XY drop, then Bitcoin go up for 2023, then Bitcoin going down, and then the XY going back up, sorry, before having the big impulse, which this one should be the bull run. If the XY goes like this, then bull run should be happening. But it's for long term, it's just talking about this, but it's for long term actually. US oil, I'll go on 4 hour. Alright, so US oil dropping. Alright, this is sell setup, pretty clean, drop. Now if it gives another sell setup, drop again. The target for this one, and let me see the target for this one. Alright, the target for this one has no really target. I'm seeing this as an A move, so somewhere soon this should be this should end, give a correction, and then give another drop for another up move. All right, there is a chance where this is an expanding and this comes back and retests the low. If it happens, it will be the perfect opportunity to buy this one actually, and I don't think it will happen because this was crash COVID, and if it goes back down to where COVID was, then it should not. I think this doesn't has a lot of probability, but let's just aim for that one and see this as a potential flat that is done. So with that A, B, and C in 3 wave, which is possible, and yeah, this will aim for another up move to come and retest the top. So this move will give a correction somewhere someday, and the correction will be bigger than what we've got. So wait for that one. You can still go down until you have this correction, and when you will have it, then you'll see that you're going down further. Gold. All right, gold, we got a drop, and this drop, all right, this drop is massive. This drop, I'm still seeing this as a regular flat. All right, this to me is still a ABC, which is a regular flat. Now this drop, and I told you guys about it, that this move will have its correction before going up and break the top. This drop is probably an A move. You'll probably see a B move and then a C move before going up and retest the top. So this will be an opportunity soon to get into the trade and retest the top. So don't miss it. This is nice. As long as you get that small correction after and that little drop, it will be an opportunity to get in. Silver, exactly same thing, but silver actually is, yeah, it's exactly the same thing. This broke the top, so yeah, it's exactly the same thing. For this one, I'm seeing this as an A move. We'll have a B move and a C move. If it gets too far from that impulse and it gets too far, then probably retest the low right there before going back up. It's possible also, but let's aim for that one since it's the most probable thing to happen. So see this as an opportunity, potential ABC. Let me show you an example if I have something right there. It's kind of like this drop. You see that drop, small correction and drop. This becomes an A, B, C. Actually, no, this one is not as clean. Let me just find somewhere if there is actually an opportunity to show you what it's like to see those impulse down. It's like this. You see, impulse A, B, and C. Right there, then you have your impulse and it goes back up, and it's an opportunity to get back in the trade right there with the stop loss right there. So that's a running flat, and right there it could be also running flat. So you see, if you see this go up, break the top, then you'll expect another drop before going up. So it will be an opportunity to get in the trade and retest the top. Tesla up move as expected, and this up move is now, we are sure about this being either, if it corrects, either retest the top, which I don't think it's the case, but at least give a correction and then another drop before going up. So at least give something like this. This could be the A move, seeing a B move soon, which is probably we're already in. So if you have buy setup, you should get in the trade, and then a C move before going up. So that's my thoughts for Tesla. Now in the smaller time frame, I'm expecting this small move to correct. This should be giving a small correction before going up. All right, if it gives a correction, it's perfect opportunity to buy some Tesla. Apple, all right, Apple exactly as expected. This one went up. Either right there, we're going to retest the top. Either this will be a running flat right there. So an A, B, C, like I shown in the past analysis, to retest the low before going up. All right, so right now you should be in the trade if you're trading Apple, and if you're not, be careful for a drop and then an up move. Meta, this one went up also with a gap right there, and same thing, this one I do think this will give a correction. Whenever it happens, then you should have an up move and probably another drop to complete this bigger structure before going up, right? But now we are doing a weekly analysis, so let's just focus on the smaller time frame. And this move will have its correction. There is nothing to do actually right now. It will have its correction, and then it will be another opportunity to buy. So we'll see it in the next weeks. Google, now this one you got to be careful, as this could come and retest the low for an ABC. Come and retest right there, ABC, which is a regular flat. Retest the low before going up. All right, the reason why is that you see this went pretty deep on close to that low, and when we get a new start of a structure, you get an impulse and a small flag before going up, and that means that this is not going to be a regular flat for downside. This is not going to be something like this. All right, this should be actually the start of a new trend. So you get something like this, but it start actually new trend. So if it's range right there, it's going up. All right, if it's range, actually it's going up for a bigger structure, but seeing that move, most likely it will be something like this. You see an ABC before a drop, so you get another drop, right? That's the difference between both, but people will be trading those trend line. All right, they will be doing that. So if you see a correction above it, then it can make another push up, and if that push up going high, then you could be in that B wave that we are looking for before having a C wave, right? So all the stocks, we're looking at the same thing. Now Amazon, same thing, but this one also you have this potential running flat, just like Apple. So you can go down, break the low before going up for that B wave. But this one we're also looking for an ABC, most likely a regular, but sometimes you can see a running flat like this one, for example. But yeah, most likely we're looking for something similar to that. And you see right there exactly what I told you. So let me zoom in. This will be perfect to show you what I'm looking for. If you want it to go up, you need a range right there. You see how you have your impulse and a range. It's not like this, right? It's more like impulse and a range. And because of that, you have more chance of having a returnment, as you have an impulse correction and then means another impulse. Then you can start your B wave, you see. But if you have something like this, you're most likely going down for one more push down, right? So it's simple concept. If you're flagging above, you're fine. If you're going low near that bottom of the impulse, so if it was going low, then it will be a drop. All right, Microsoft, and let me go right there in the 4-hour chart. Microsoft, all right, I think we broke the top, and we did. So from that point, be careful. Like I said, this went pretty deep near the low, so this could come and retest the low one more time. All right, if you see it flag right there, this being an ABC for a downside to come and re-break the low will not happen anymore. This flag will mean that we're going up, and it could be the start of the B wave, you see. So we'll need that flag, and if you don't get this flag, then you expect the market to go down and break the lows again. So that's about it for this weekly analysis, guys. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, feel free to share this video with your friend. Don't forget that you can join the Discord down below. It will be a pleasure to see you there, but also leave me some feedbacks so I can see what I will be doing in my next videos. And like I said at the beginning, I'm thinking about doing some different type of video using the wave theory, of course. So this will be enjoyable for you guys to learn more about it, but also enjoyable for me to do things that I like, which is at the moment a little bit of NFTs. So again, feel free to drop some feedback, some like and comment, and see you in the next one. Peace.